Welcome to Optimistic Perspective with yours truly, ALETHIA, Colombian-born, Australian-based artist. Remember, we are energy, and what we project, we attract. Stay positive, open your heart, and step through the doors that are waiting for you. ¡Vamos!
Welcome to Optimistic Perspective. This is our Comedy Fest special, and I'm ALETHIA, and today we are at the Athenaeum Theatre, and it's the last week of the Melbourne Comedy Festival. And I'm with Sammy J, an incredible Australian musical comedian, writer, just an incredible performer. And Sammy, I'm really happy to have you here. Thanks for saying yes to the interview.
My pleasure. Thank you, ALETHIA.
Thank you. And I was going to say, I watched myself the Kangaroo Effect last year and also the Hero Complex this year.
Amazing.
And I just felt really like emotional in a way.
Oh.
You are like, the way you interact with the crowd and the way you tell your stories, it's so like compelling. Like, I almost feel like I wanted to cry, but then it was hilarious at the same time.
That is so lovely of you. And that's really interesting because these two shows, the ones that you just mentioned, are my most personal shows. And a lot of my career I've spent hiding behind a character or, doing songs and things that are a bit more silly or just absurd, which is great fun. But the shows you just mentioned, Hero Complex and Kangaroo Effect, are both based in my actual life. And then they show photos and videos from my actual life. And that's been quite a big journey to go on to feel comfortable talking about myself in that way. So I'm really happy that you saw those and you enjoyed them.
Oh, thank you. That's very special. I actually watched a little bit of the videos, I guess, that you have also on YouTube and a little bit of your story and experience on radio and all that. But yeah, it's quite different.
Yeah.
It was really special to watch those ones. And yeah, as I said, it's like very, very emotional.
Oh, thank you.
But funny at the same time. Yeah.
Well, I think comedy and sadness is the wrong word, but I think, comedy is a strong emotional force, and I use my own story to try and get those sort of sentimental moments. I don't want to overdo them, but when you can make people feel something, even if it's sadness or joy, then you can sort of then hit them with a surprise, whether it's a laugh or sometimes I sort of use emotion as a punchline where people are expecting something to be funny and then I try and make it sad. So it's sort of constantly trying to stay a step ahead of the audience and what they're expecting.
And having, I guess, sort of like dynamics and different things happening.
Variety,
Yeah, and I guess a real story, which I think is really much more like special as if it's just like, I guess, something fictional.
Yeah.
Because people can relate.
They can relate. And I think, of course, even in my shows that are about, real stories, there's still exaggeration and arrangement just like anyone. But I think all comedians or performers really are telling stories in their own way, whether it's through song or dance or comedy. And so, I think I think performers are all more similar than they like to admit. Even as a musical comedian, and I've been a cabaret performer and things and stand-up. And sometimes there's a divide between musical comedians and straight stand-up comedians and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think everyone's doing the same thing. We're all making choices about how we look and sound and what we wear and how we present our stories. But it's just sharing stories always.
Yeah. And I guess deep inside those sort of like creations, you want always to connect with the audience.
Yep.
Give them like some sort of like just like emotion.
Yeah, a feeling. You're right, and whether you're connecting with them just by making them laugh because it's just some stupid, silly song with no real point to it, which is fine. Some of my favorite comedians are the absurd ones who are just making you laugh the whole time, or whether you connect because it's personal or people relate to a story. Doesn't matter. It's that feeling, and it's being in an audience without your phone turned on and just being connected to someone, I think is still the most beautiful thing.
Present.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, like I know that you always been like super creative, and since you were like young, I remember watching the Kangaroo Effect, and you took us through like your whole like journey.
Yeah, why I became a comedian. Yeah,
all that. But then I also discovered that you studied law, and I was like, oh my God, this is so like random.
Yeah, very.
So I wanted to ask, what was the moment that you sort of like realized I'm going to do this and I'm going to make my living like my art?
Well, so it's a lot of comedians did law and then dropped out of law and had to make that decision. But for me, it was kind of reversed. Like from high school, I really wanted to be a comedian. Like I was the class clown, like I talked about in the Kangaroo Effect. I was this sort of annoying kid, and I started writing songs about my teachers when I was 15 years old. So that was always my genuine passion. And then law was one of those things where I got better results than I was expecting at the end of school. And so I thought, look, I'll give law a crack. That sounds fun. And in Melbourne, we have a tradition of comedians who have done law. So it was almost like I was still trying to pursue my comedy career by doing law, which is quite bizarre. But and then I did 2 years of it. And by that point, I was already doing the comedy festival and doing sketch shows and on the scene. So I sort of had enough confidence to think I could give it a go. So I quit my law degree, but it sounds more dramatic than it was, because I think I already had a bit more confidence, to make that decision.
Yeah, okay. But it's still, I guess, it's like you spent almost 2 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years. I did half my law degree.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't want to spend another 2.5 years studying something that is really hard and that I'm not going to do as a job, because I knew I wanted to be on stage instead.
Yeah.
Rather than in a courtroom.
And was your family very supportive?
They were, I think they were.
That's nice.
Again, it would be a better story if I disappointed my family and dramatically quit my law degree, but they were all like, why were you studying law in the first place? That wasn't you,
Yeah.
They knew what I wanted to be doing. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm very lucky to have their support.
Also, like you mentioned, I was actually having a look to your Spotify and to your music. And then because I'm a musician myself, so when I saw you the first time playing the piano, I was like, okay, he knows a little bit of music.
Well, I don't know if you feel the same. I always feel like I'm bluffing. Like I play piano just well enough for comedy, and I play just well enough to do styles, but I would love to be much better, and I would love to be much more versatile, but I'm learning to be prouder of my skills.
Yeah.
So I can play piano pretty well, and but I'm self-taught, so I sort of don't have all the technical knowledge, but when a musician like yourself says that you heard me and it sounded nice, that it gives me more confidence.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds really good.
It's amazing what you can get away with if you're smiling. If you're on stage and you smile, then people think you find,
That's true. That's true. There's also, because I was searching a little bit of you and I saw your Spotify, I also was looking at the bio and how you were presenting yourself and stuff. And then I found something that was quite funny to me. And it was you said, that you have many eras, right?
Yes.
And then you said more eras than Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And I thought it's just funny because you have been from stage to TV to radio.
Yeah.
How is and also you had some ARIA Awards nominations, which was quite mind-blowing.
Well, thank you. I think I sort of came up with that Taylor Swift comparison as a way of trying to bring my audience together, because I feel so lucky to have a career.
Yeah.
But the career has been very staggered in different stages. So, for example, when I was on radio, my radio listeners on the ABC in Melbourne, a lot of them didn't know I was a comedian or didn't care I was a comedian, because they were there for the radio. And my comedy audience didn't care that I was on radio, because it was breakfast radio, and who wakes up at 5:30 in the morning? Nobody. So, I was sort of trying to, and I am still trying to work out how to bring all my different audiences together and say, okay, I do a lot of different things in different styles. And that can be jarring sometimes for people who think they want me to be doing one thing and then I'm suddenly doing this other thing. But throughout it all, I think is still my sense of humor and my sensibility and more my personality, like the shows you saw. So I feel like that's still a work in progress, but hopefully I'm on the way to no longer surprising people in a bad way, but surprising them in a good way.
Yeah, I guess probably a lot of your audience perhaps will find that or a little bit of the how you I guess show all these different personas also in your show that you said that you're going to be doing every 5 years.
Yes,
the 50 years show.
That is probably my favorite project, and that's the one.
Okay.
So this is the show I started in 2008 for the Melbourne Fringe Festival, called the 50 Year Show, as you said, and it's one show every 5 years. And the idea is that there's lots of comedians and guests who do a little segment and then come back every 5 years and do a continuation of that same thing. For example, I had some 5-year-old kids who did a dance with me at the first show when I was 25 and they were 5. They come back every 5 years. So now, last time they were all 20 years old and I was, 35 or no, 40s rather. And so all these sort of ongoing building jokes, which for me is all about the passing of time, which is kind of my passion. Like in the shows that I do, I very much play with time and growing old and connecting with your younger self as well. That's a huge part of what I do, because I think, we all have to, well, certainly for my case, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like I spend a lot of time with my younger self, sort of giving him a pat on the head and going, hey, it's all going to be okay, and don't worry. And I feel like when I was little, I used to sort of almost talk to myself when I was older as well. There's like a dialogue for me, which sounds weird, but that's sort of how I view it all.
Yeah, I actually really resonate with that
Yeah.
because I feel like as an artist, and I guess as humans as well, but especially as as an artist, you go through a lot of different things, and then I guess even the reason why you do things also change.
Yes.
And when you are in contact with your inner self, is like a reminder of like, oh, I'm actually doing this as well because it's fun
Yep.
and because I enjoy it, but because we are older and we have go through a lot of like different things, then we also realize, oh, but it's also actually because I feel that it's my purpose and I want to give something
Absolutely.
to people.
Yeah. And on top of that, there's also, we're humans, so you grow and learn, and you have all the usual, shame or embarrassment or cringiness about who you were as a younger person or what you've done artistically as well. And so part of that is the fact that as artists, you often have to grow up with, and make mistakes more in public than others. And so a lot of my comedy material when I started out, some of it I'm proud of, and some was really awful, whether it was inadvertently racist or misogynistic or whatever the easy laughs were. And so I sort of cringe when I think about that, but I think, okay, but I can own that as a person and say how good that I've been on a growth journey where I can learn that, I can recognize that, and I can sort of keep on going. But yeah, that again, it's about being gentle to yourself, I think, in both directions, from young to old and from old to young.
Yeah, and I guess also like in a way being grateful for all those lessons and all those I guess
Absolutely.
mistakes,
Yep.
because they allow you to be now who you are.
Yeah. And I think that lovely phrase that I heard, which is, you're either winning or you're learning, like there's either things are going well for you, and if they're not, then there's going to be some growth out of it as well.
Yeah. In that note, like what sort of mindset do you think it's been like helping you to evolve in your creative path?
I think definitely that sort of comes back to what we've just been talking about, really, which is I feel really grateful to have an audience, and I feel really grateful that I've never had a big break in my career. I'd like some big TV show that's blown up or anything. I've just had lots of little wins along the way, and I think that's made me quite what's the word?
Appreciative?
Very much appreciative, but also resilient. That's the one. Yeah,
resilient.
like I've had lots of projects that haven't gone well. I've had lots of bad reviews, but I've also had lots of good reviews and lots of awards. And so, in terms of keeping perspective on things, I really know why I'm in this business now, which is because of the joy of creating things. I love mixing it up. I love, as I said, the magic of being with an audience. And in this modern world, when everyone is stuck on their screens all the time, I think it's all the more special to be in a theatre in a live environment. So yeah, I think gratitude and excitement. I think when you, as an artist, you maybe feel the same, but we've all done shows where you're doing the same thing every night and you get bored of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And then when you watch a performer doing that and you can tell they're bored of it, it's like, what, you're just wasting their time. Like so I think that's partly why I have these Taylor Swift eras in my career, because I do get bored or doing the same thing over and over. So I'm always trying to mix it up as much as I can. And I think that is both for myself, but also for the audience out of respect, because I think if you're going to bother taking someone's money or time, then you owe it to them to give them something that you really believe in as well.
Yeah, and I guess we come back to that sort of idea of the enjoyment. Like if you enjoy it, people will actually enjoy it. Like they will like really resonate with what you are making.
And it's about, I think, respecting the audience and trying to do the best you can with whatever skills and tools you have.
Yeah. Well, now I have like another question, and is because we were talking of how I guess I don't know, like sort of like how intentional your work is, and especially those two shows, The Kangaroo Effect and Hero Complex. I wanted to ask, like, how is that you balance humor with vulnerability, and like, especially when you are creating, is it like something that is very like intentional or just happens to be?
Oh, it's a great question, and it's a hard one to answer because I don't know the right answer. Like I think in the shows that, this Hero Complex that I'm performing at the moment, I think it's a really nice balance that I've got. But I have done shows in the past where I've gone too sentimental, and it starts to feel a little bit like not quite a counseling session, but it's like I've got to remind myself I'm still if I'm selling a show as a comedy, it's got to have enough laughs, it's got to have the jokes. So I think it's a constant balance, and I'm still finding that balance, but I think after this show, which is quite personal, for example, artistically, I'm thinking next year I might want to do more of a stand-up show that is more just as many jokes as I can put in without worrying too much about the personal narrative, again, because it'll surprise people and things. But I would say it's depending on the project. So every project will have its own rules around that, whether it's going to be more personal, more sentimental, or funny. And some comedians, have done the most amazing work, like Hannah Gadsby's Nanette was sold as a comedy show, but then in the actual show became a really powerful piece of theatre as well. So I think genres can sometimes be helpful, but also sometimes they can be problematic because it's, you want to be able to surprise people, and sometimes it's nice to not put yourself into a box.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It keeps you, I guess, like just authentic and like true to who you are in the moment that you are creating as well.
Completely. What is your instrument?
I play guitar, but I would say my instrument is my voice.
Yeah, so you sing and play?
Yeah, sing
and your own songs or others?
Yeah, mine.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I want to ask you questions now.
Oh, well, you can ask me one.
Okay. Okay. Where do you, when you're writing a song, are you looking for truth or are you looking for, the musicality first? Do you prefer to open up about yourself or do you prefer to be more guarded and talk about other things?
Oh, well, I think it's a hard question. I think it's sort of like the same question, but in different words.
Yeah. Like it's all about the song itself.
Yeah, well, I feel like, sometimes like songs have like their own answers in a way.
Yep.
When you're creating, I feel like the song will take you to where it needs to be taken. Mm-hmm. But I think, especially in the last 2 years or so, I've been trying to be, I guess, very intentional with the music that I'm making. And I think it is because in the last 2 years, I had a lot of changes in my life, a lot of like hard things as well. But those things really showed me the reason why I wanted to create music. And I was like, I think it's mostly because, one, I can connect with people like deeper than another way, like in any other way.
Yep.
And also because they're so powerful and we can heal through music in a way.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. Sometimes I guess I just experiment and I like to just have fun with it. But lately I think it's been very into like the message that I want to give.
Yep.
And then like just music starts to happen, I guess.
Well, I'm going to be looking you up on Spotify after this chat. And you should do it too. I'm sure you already are, viewers.
And okay, I have like the last part of this.
This is lovely. This is
Thank you.
The nicest interview I've done in a long time. It's nice to talk about the real things,
Thank you. I'm really, really glad you said that. Thank you. Well, I have sort of like a little ritual. Ritual, is that the correct word? Yeah, ritual of the podcast. And it's to ask for a book and an album or a song that has maybe like impact you in your life.
Okay.
Doesn't matter when.
So just any of those, just one thing of book.
One album or song.
Okay.
And one book.
Okay. Ooh, that's so much pressure. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do. Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. The song is Handle with Care by the Traveling Wilburys. The reason I've been listening to this song is because just recently I was started a new band with other comedians, musical comedians in Australia.
Oh my God, this sounds great.
Rusty Bertha from Scared Weird Little Guys, and Andrew Hansen from The Chaser, and Stephen Gates from Tripod, and Tom Gleeson, who is a very well-known comedian, but not many people know he plays drums. So they're all very big names in Australian comedy, and I'm joining as well. And we are all musical comedians by background, except Tom. So we started this, calling it a super group, and we had so much fun getting together and just writing songs for the joy of it, not because we wanted to try and make money out of it or anything, just for this sheer joy, because we're all at stages where we have space and an audience to do that. And the joke that we had was that we were trying to create a comedy version of the Traveling Wilburys, which was a band I didn't know heaps about, but this was a band in the 1980s with Bob Dylan, Ringo Starr, Tom Petty. Oh my gosh. I'm going to forget the other people, and people are going to come at me in the comments now because there were some other big names as well. But it was like a proper supergroup. Like we had people from the Beatles, and you had all this amazing. Roy Orbison was there as well. And their most famous song was called Handle Me with Care. And I've been listening to that a lot lately when we were doing the rehearsals for our own band, simply because you can tell that those people were having so much fun and joy, even though they were like world famous superstars, but they were just getting together to create things for fun. And so that's a song that was just giving me joy recently.
Wow, cool.
And this is a book that I could not recommend enough. You may have heard of it. It's called 4,000 Weeks, and it was written, I forgot the name of the author, but 4,000 weeks is the name, and that is because that is the average lifespan of a human. It's very, very average.
4,000
weeks, which is really sobering. And it's a book that is all about seizing the day, and it's all about how we need to follow our dreams and passions, and it's about prioritizing your life, because I'm someone who will always like clean my desk and finish my inbox before I even get to the piano to write. And I'm trying to get better at going, no, that stuff can wait. You know, if we're going to die tomorrow, as might happen, what are you going to be happier with, a tidy desk or a new song that ALETHIA has written and performed, you know? So 4,000 Weeks is a book that really, really stayed with me, and I can recommend it.
I haven't read it myself, but I promise I'll have a look because it sounds really interesting. Something that I really would love to read.
Yeah. I think you will enjoy it.
Nice. And now to go to the end of the podcast, I have some sort of funny, rapid questions I like to ask.
Okay. This is high pressure now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay.
It's a good warm up for my show.
Nice. I say because you're almost about to go.
Yes.
Jeez. Okay. So let's do it. The first things that got to your head, your answer.
Okay.
Performing live or writing along in silence?
Or what in silence?
Performing live or writing along in silence?
Performing live, but you can only do that once you've done the performing. the writing in silence. So it's two sides of the same coin. I know that's more words than I was allowed to use, but
it's okay. It's okay. Nostalgic 90s or hippies 70s?
Oh, nostalgic 90s, because that was my era.
Yes, we know that. Pink clouds or no clouds at all?
Oh, pink clouds, always.
Randy or solo?
Oh my God, I could not answer that, because such different joy in different ways.
Yeah.
But right now, obviously solo, because we're both doing solo things.
Yeah, you
so
have
that's
to be
where my
careful
focus
with
is.
the answer.
Yep. But Randy is my forever comedy husband.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Like a Melbourne, like a Australian.
Yep.
And last one is one song you wish you had written.
Oh, it's coming to me. Friend Like Me from Aladdin.
Oh my God, okay.
Yep, Alan Menken wrote the music. It's just a banger of a track, and it was one I used to sing all the time when I was a lonely little nerdy kid at school.
Wow. Well, thank you, Sammy. It was amazing to have a chat with you.
Thank you, ALETHIA. What an absolute joy. I'm off to look you up now and listen to your music.
Please do, and we'll do the same. If you don't know Sammy J, please remind us all your details. If you get, I'm sorry,
I felt so bad.
I'm so sorry.
My handles are Sammy J Comedian. You can find just all one word: Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
And the Spotify as well. You have to check it out.
And what are your handles? I even know everyone knows them by now.
Mine is ALETHIA Official everywhere.
Boom.
That's it. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Beautiful.
That was so delightful.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
23 minutes.
Oh, perfect time for it. I hate podcasts that go for too long. I never listen to them. It's like 23 minutes is perfect.
How do you feel with that? Was it okay?
It was wonderful. I really appreciate it. And you're like asking specific actual questions. It's so rare. People go, so what do you do? And, you know, like they get you to do all the hard work yourself, you know, and so that's lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now let me look you up now. You want Apple Music as well?
I do, yeah.